It is time for the first 30-day bathing suit update. Here is a video of me stepping on the scale on 1 January, and I weighed 157.6 pounds. Now, I just want to note that for the sake of these videos, for the 30-day updates, we're going to go with that starting weight of 157.6. However, 2 weeks prior to that, my weight was 161 pounds. So for me, as I'm tracking my total weight loss, just know that I'm tracking it from 161. Okay, so let's go ahead. Let's look at that video again from 1 January. You can see from my facial expressions that I'm not happy. And to be honest, it's not I'm just not happy, I'm disgusted. I am disgusted with myself. Let me just say that this is my opinion of my body. Completely entitled to have it. So I don't want any comments on that. I'm completely allowed to have an opinion on my body. And I found it disgusting to have all that weight on. But it's not just about the weight. It's the fact that I was utterly out of shape. The reason why I look like that, let's look at some pictures here. The reasons why I'm like that is because I am out of shape. I hadn't been exercising or working out or doing much of anything. So I'm disgusted with myself for allowing myself to not take care of myself, to not look after myself. So that's, so yes, I hate the fat on my body, but it's the fact that I allowed myself to get back into emotional eating. I allowed myself to stop working out. I allowed myself to let the stress get the best of me. That's like the package of everything that I'm finding myself disgusted by. I did not at that time, now or ever, not in like decades, not since I was a kid, have the type of self-talk where I'm beating myself up. So I was not calling myself fat. I was not telling myself, and you're a disgusting pig, or whatever type of things that people might say to themselves. I wasn't saying any of those things. I still completely love and appreciated who I was. And if you watch the video of what happened in the last 8 years, I know how I ended up where I was. And while I was disgusted with it, which is a feeling that I needed to reach in order to completely, switch that thing, that my mindset and my way of life completely around. So I needed to be disgusted with myself to get there. But again, I didn't call myself names. My self-talk is always positive and supportive of myself. So even when I looked that way, I felt disgusted with myself, still was very supportive and encouraging of myself. Here's something else I forgot to mention. I was also feeling old. It was my first time in my life where I felt my age, or even worse than my age. And I did not like that feeling, because that's a massive slippery slope that you start thinking that you're old and you can't do certain things anymore, that you don't have the energy that you should have, and you start making excuses and you blame it on your age. And I don't want to be that person. I'm not even that old. I'm 43 years old. So I don't want to start blaming anything on my age. I have to be realistic about my age to some extent, but honestly, I don't want to be realistic about my age. That's why I want to be in top physical shape and do everything possible to tap into the fountain of youth, because that feeling of feeling old was horrible and so limiting, and I don't want to feel that. Okay, so now this is a video of me stepping on the scale on 1 February. So yes, technically that's over 30 days because there was 31 days in January. But I stepped on the scale and I weighed 149.4. I cheated. I weighed 149.4, so I lost from 1 January to 31 January, or to the morning of 1 February, I lost 8.2 pounds. Let's go ahead and let's put the video from 1 January next to the video from 1 February. Let's play those two videos and you can see some of the difference. There's definitely a difference around my stomach. Got slimmer around the stomach. Feel like my legs got a little tighter, and even my back and a little bit of my arms got a little tighter all around. So here are also some side-by-side pictures from 1 January and again from February. So here's the front, here is the back, and here is the side. So how did I lose that 8.2 pounds? I'm not going to cover that in this video because there are a lot of other videos that you can watch that covers that. If they're not posted yet, they will be. So you can watch my first 24-hour fast video. You can watch the first 30 days of the keto lifestyle video, my first 48-hour fast. So I started the last days of January is when I did my 48-hour fast. So you can watch those videos. So that covers the food and the fasting on how for me to lose that 8.2 pounds. What is missing is the fitness and what I did. So one consistent thing that I did is after I ate, I went for my 10-minute walk. Now my lunch vitamin D walk is a little longer than 10 minutes, but if nothing else, that's definitely something that you can do after you eat. Go for a 10-minute walk. So that was a consistent during that month. Also consistent was some HIIT training. So here's some footage of my Chloe Tang HIIT training. She kicked my butt. It was really great. So that was 3 times. I was looking at doing HIIT training 3 times a week. So again, I would do warm up with jump rope, do a Chloe Tang 10-minute HIIT, and then do a little bit more HIIT afterwards. And then I did home weight exercises. So I have a set of dumbbells, which I did some exercises with. And then I also have a kettlebell, which I did some exercises with. And then you're familiar with my door. Here you go. You're familiar with my door straps, where I use that to, do some back and some other exercises. So everything that I was doing in January was at the house, except for when I went for my walks. And then I went on a couple bike rides as well. There you have it. That was my workout routine, my regimen for the month of January. Let me tell you, at the beginning, it was so hard. I was so out of shape. And I hated it. I so hated it. I hated being so out of shape. And again, feeling old. But I pushed through that, and over time it got easier. And then now mentally something clicked back into gear where it's like, okay, now that it's easier, I need to push myself even harder in order to, again, to constantly keep getting into better shape. And now I'm back to having that mindset of knowing how to push myself to reach new levels and break barriers and my limits. I'm nowhere near in the kind of shape that I have once been in my life. So that's going to take a little longer to get there. And I'm back in the gym, kind of jumping ahead here, but back in the gym, getting my strength back as well. So I'm progressing nicely, although I'm also beating myself up and not being happy with my progress. this goes back to tapping in. I made a little quick water cooler short about that. It goes back to tapping into my positive self-talk and self-love, self-compassion, and to know that I am making progress, embracing that and realizing that I can't undo 2 years of unhealthy eating and habits in, under 30, 60, or 90 days. It's gonna take some time. The next video will cover, I will take some more pictures. I'm debating whether I will do it on 1 March because that's really only 29 days. But then if I do it on 2 March, it throws everything off. So maybe I'll do it on 2 March because March has 31 days and that will even out to 30 days. We'll figure it out, but it's 30 days, give or take 1 or 2 days. Don't forget to subscribe. So if you want to, get that next 30-day baby suit update video or all the other great content, I think it's great content that I'm providing on this channel. Again, don't forget to subscribe and hit the little bell. I will see you in the next video.